I can hear the birds sing as she walks through the park with excitement in their hearts. Well, I know the spring, all the flowers start to glow. Mr. Sunshine so bright, there is magic in the
Mother Nature melts the ice with a springtime thaw, figure skating's finest summon their competitive nature one last time. Welcome you to the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge, the final competition of the season here on ABC Sports. We are inside the Broome County Veterans Memorial Arena here in Binghamton, New York. Hi, everybody. I'm Terry Gannon. No fewer than 8 Olympic gold medals and 26 world championships have been won by those who've assembled here. A great field that will compete under a unique team format, both amateurs and professionals. America's finest against the world's best in a one-on-one, head-to-head competition. They'll take the ice in just a moment. Also, later in the show, we'll bring you the latest on a major story that has developed this week involving Richard Callahan, one of figure skating's best-known and most successful coaches. More on that later on. Right now, we turn our attention to Olympic champion Peggy Fleming. Peggy, this is a team competition, but it's based on individual matchups. And those individuals in the ladies' event are outstanding.
Oh, they really are, Terry. We have 2 past Olympic champions, Katarina Witt and Kristi Yamaguchi. Katarina holds 2 Olympic gold medals and is fresh off the pages of December Playboy. And Kristi is competing for the very first time all season. And we'll have to see if a year out of competition has affected her technically. But the most intriguing matchup here is between the newly crowned and newly dethroned world champions, Maria Butrskaya and Michelle Kwan. It's been a very difficult year for Michelle, and she does not want to lose again. But coming up next are the men, so I'll turn to my colleague, 2-time Olympic champion Dick Button. And Dick, the men's field is just as outstanding as the ladies' field.
Well, all you have to do is look at the first 2 competitors who are going up against each other. I mean, Rudy Galindo versus Elvis Stojko. Now, who can ask for a greater contrast than that? I mean, one is the best of stylists, and the other a strength skater of the first order. And that's what skating, and this competition in particular, is all about. A sport that can encompass wildly different styles and concepts. One that can indeed mix apples and oranges. And then we're going to see the current world champion, Alexei Yagudin, compete against the U.S. and world bronze medalist Michael Weiss. Now, Yagudin is skating to Lawrence of Arabia, an epic that sweeps you away. And Weiss to KC and the Sunshine Band, which is going to make everybody shake their booty.
Well, those that will shake it for the world team, what a great lineup it is. Katarina Witt, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She heads the list. Maria Butrskaya, the newly crowned ladies world champion. On down the line, Olympic champion Viktor Petrenko, 3-time world champion Elvis Stojko. Against the U.S. team, Olympic champion Kristi Yamaguchi will head the list. She's the captain. And a lineup that spans the generation. 13-year-old Sarah Hughes among them, Michelle Kwan, Todd Eldridge, and on down the list. Now, here are the rules for this head-to-head competition. Skaters will skate one-on-one against each other. 2 points for a win, 1 point for a loss. They'll be tallied up at the end. The team with the most points, the victor. And the first matchup of the competition, Rudy Galindo of the U.S. against 3-time world champion Elvis Stojko.
96 U.S. champion and world bronze medalist, and now one of the best-known professionals in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Rudy Galindo.
So taking the ice first and representing the U.S. team, 29-year-old Rudy Galindo. It's hard to believe it's been 3 seasons since he won his U.S. national title in his hometown of San Jose.
The music, Rondo Capriccioso, Sanson.
This is a very artistic number, but still it really has the flair and the fun of Rudy's style.
Kind of hard to do those triple jumps with a violin in your hand.
Oh, I think
if you
so,
miss, you're going
too.
to poke yourself right in the eye.
It's got to be a little distracting because you have to focus on where that bow is while you're doing all those triples.
If
Very
you're sitting in the
difficult.
first row, you may not feel safe either.
Very clever number, choreographed by Sasha Zulin, who was a world champion ice dancer. Very clever.
Well, Rudy Galindo head-to-head against Elvis Stoico. As Dick said, contrasting styles, but Rudy has never been one to try things out of character, no matter who he's up against.
Rudy Galindo's underlying technique, steady and secure. Look at this triple toe loop jump right there. Very neat, clean, easy, and a double toe following it up. Good stretch.
So Rudy waiting for his 2 sets of marks along with his American teammates. Jared Swallow in the background, Todd Eldridge sitting on the right. For skating techniques, the first set of marks now, and remember, these will only be compared to those of Elvis Stoico. A one-on-one head-to-head competition. 5.6s across the board for skating techniques. And the second set for presentation, 5.7 up to 5.9 for Rudy. For the moment,
Canadian national champion, twice Olympic silver medalist, twice world champion. Please welcome Elvis Stoico.
So from the style of Rudy Galindo to the power of Elvis Stoico, the three-time world champion, twice the Olympic silver medalist.
His music, Lion. Kodo drums by Kodo.
And I think this number really flatters his skating style. It's very strong music that brings out his power. And his opening jump is a triple axel jump. Watch his forward takeoff. Beautiful.
He's one of the few skaters that gets a suspension in the air following the revolution. That's the way jumping should be done. This is a perfect combination of music and choreography for his style of skating. Triple toe. There's a straight line step.
And he's really moving out here, skating very fast.
Watch the back part of this spin from here. Now watch him pull this back scratch spin. That's a beauty. A wonderful energy. That was really a first-rate competitive program that also had an artistry and a completeness to it. The choreography, the style, the style of his skating all meshed wonderfully. That was one of the best performances I've seen him give all winter long.
Once that music hits with the drums, the power, the speed, the energy never stops. Elvis Stoico, 3 times the world champion, trying to gain 2 points for the world team.
Now, this triple axel, one of the best. Look at him as he lifts it into the air, completes the revolution nicely, and lands with a full-flowing, very generous, outgoing edge. That's the way it should be done. And this spin combination at the end of the program, also good. Sit spin. Now watch him switch to a back sit spin. position reverse-wise, and a back cross spin with the hands over the head. Good spin.
Elvis surrounded by his world teammates. The first set of marks, 5.7 up to 5.9 for skating techniques, and those are better than Rudy Galindo's.
Well, they really were first rate. I mean, he was energetic and strong and powerful, and what he did far better, and I think that was the great element of this.
The second set of marks, not as high. The crowd doesn't like this. In fact, a 5.6 from the Italian judge, up to a 5.9. But they are good enough to place him ahead of Rudy Galindo, and Elvis Stoico gains 2 points for the world team. More of the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge in a little bit. Right now, that we take you to our Wide World of Sports studios in New York to join Rob and Robert. Welcome back to the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge. 13-year-old Sarah Hughes steps onto the ice, about to represent the United States. She finished 7th in her first trip to the World Championships recently in Helsinki. And while we were away, Kazakova and Dmitriev of Russia defeated Steve and Danielle Hartzell, the U.S. champions in pairs. So it is now the World Team 4 and the U.S. 2 as Sarah is about to start.
This has been such an exciting year for her. She has been so refreshing to watch handle all this excitement and her new experiences.
And Peggy, only 13 years old, and she's competing head-to-head against Katarina Witt, who is 33 years old. Sarah wasn't even born when Katarina won her first Olympic gold medal in '84.
Beautiful position in that layback spin. Triple flip, double toe.
Quando sei lontana sogno all'orizzonte manca le parole e io sì lo so che sei con me.
That's a good position.
Sei qui con me. Mio sole tu sei qui con me, con me, con me, con me.
Choreography and the concept of this program, very nice. And it certainly fits the long-legged, limbed look that she has. Those nice triple jumps.
And she seems to be really feeling this music, holding out these moves and extending her arms. And I see an improvement even since the World Championships. Yeah, I think she's absorbing all of these experiences and she's using them.
That's a good back position. It has to be.
Beautiful.
Very nice back scratch position. Very nice. She has the potential for being an enormously elegant and beautiful skater. If she continues to stretch and pull her back up, she'll be quite wonderful.
3 years away from driving a car, still 5 years away from voting. Sarah Hughes, a 7th place finish at the World Championships already for her.
And here is a look at her triple flip double toe combination. She taps in, gets good height, a little hesitating on that landing, a little slow in between the combination, but otherwise very nice.
Now the world team with a 4-2 lead over the U.S. and Sarah Hughes trying to bring the U.S. team back. The first set of marks, a 5.6, the rest 5.7s.
And now her last score presentation, 5.7.
And she likes those too. For her presentation, 5.5 up to 5.8. So smiles all around for the American team. And now it's up to the two-time Olympic champion, Katarina Witt, who likes this generational matchup.
I figured the youngest against the oldest would be really quite interesting. And I thought maybe this is the only girl I have a chance again. I'll see.
Right now, it's 33-year-old Katarina Witt, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, taking the ice. She will skate head-to-head against 13-year-old Sarah Hughes of the U.S.
The music, I Belong to Me.
I will not be well-bred, obedient, and well-behaved. I will not be humble, don't jump up to be enslaved. I don't want to be your property, 'cause I belong to me. When I walk the tightrope, don't stop me, just let me try. I want to take chances, find out what it takes to fly. I don't care at all if you agree. I belong to me. If you try to reach
I think these lyrics have special meaning for Katarina Witt.
force me to leave you alone. If you try to change me, I just break away to be what I am on my own. I'm freezing, I'm burning, you can't put me on the shelf. I'm growing, I'm learning to be even more myself. I know it's not easy to be free, but I belong to me.
This is where the experience really comes through. She knows how to hold these moves and really use this music to relate to this audience.
If you want to find me, don't hold me so tight. Don't break me and don't take me on. If you want to bind me, I'm ready to fight. I'll shake all my chains and be gone. I'm here when you need me. I live and I die with you. I'll share all your
Well, what fun it is to watch her. I think her appearance in Playboy this year gave her a new lease on skating. There's a sense of freedom about her now. She's had such fun with the competitions and the exhibitions. It's a real joy to watch her.
And it hasn't been bad for the people at the magazine either. One of the highest selling issues ever for a skater for the ages. But the 1980s, Katarina Witt's decade. 2 Olympic golds, 4 world championships, and 6 European titles. Only she and Sonia Henny accomplished the European title on the ladies' side.
And look at how her maturity shows here. Gentle, easy, very much enjoying the process of this. Now, look at her face as she skates through this. I mean, it's not tense. It is an easier jump, but look at the ease that she has and the line that she gets coming out. Very, very just nice to see.
Now her marks. The first set, some boos and hisses from the audience and from Katarina, too. She doesn't like those. 5.4 to 5.7 for skating techniques.
Well, that wasn't the point of her skating. She wasn't out there to show great triple jumps and wildly difficult moves. She was having a good time. And I think they should show that in the interpretation marks.
And they are a little bit better, but the U.S. team inching back. Sarah Hughes with the victory, and now it's just a 1-point lead for the world team. And when we come back, the latest on a story where the ice dancing showdown took place with the 5-time U.S. champions Elizabeth Punchlin and Jared Swallow, bringing back memories of Sonny and Cher.
So if you haven't guessed what those costumes and the music are, I guess you kind of missed the whole decade of the 70s. And what a contrast they were to Maya Usova and Evgeny Platov. He, twice Olympic champion, she a world champion, and between them, the best exponents of classical ice dancing in the business. Look at her feet, the pointed toes, the stretched legs.
The classical winning out over the 70s. So the world team with a 2-point victory for the Russians have the 2-point lead. We turn our attention back to the ladies. Kristi Yamaguchi, the Olympic champion, against world champion Yuka Sato. That's the matchup that will take place right now. And it's Kristi Yamaguchi representing, I guess, the elder statespersons here in this competition. She and Katarina Witt, and they're learning a few things.
I think both Kat and I are like, okay, we're kind of the old ones here, or the, you know, the generation or 2 generations before most of these skaters. But that's what makes it fun, and I think we get inspired by watching them, and, you know, hopefully we can keep up in some way.
Representing Team USA, Olympic gold medalist, Kristi Yamaguchi.
Not sure she's had a problem keeping up. She's kept it at a top level throughout her professional career now after great success as an amateur. But this, her first competition of the season.
The music, violin concerto, D major, Tchaikovsky.
Well, this is a very elegant number. It really shows her confidence and her refined style. She is opening with a triple Lutz. Beautifully done.
The nice part was the fact that she took the exit edge and turned it into a spiral.
An exquisite position on these camel spins.
uncharacteristic failure of that move for Christie. She usually is impeccably consistent with these jumps.
That's a nice effect on the spiral using that deep edge.
These splits, very good stretched leg, Russian position.
And she looks so calm doing these triples, very confident. Beautiful number. You always feel so calm watching her skate. I mean, you never feel like she's going to miss something. That was so unfortunate on her triple flip.
One of the largest hands in this event from this audience, getting out of their seats.
I think she's very popular. Everybody greatly appreciates the fact that she is so consistent and always seems to have such fun with it.
And this was her triple Lutz at the beginning of her program. A nice solid opening, good solid jump, and a beautiful position on the landing. And she turned it into a nice artistic position into the back spiral. Very elegant. And here was the trouble she had on the triple flip. She got good height, but her leg was wrapped around and just didn't pull out and check on that landing. But she saved it pretty well.
Where is Christie underneath all those flowers? Now, trying to at least bring the U.S. team back close to the world team. The first set of marks, a 5.7 and the rest 5.8.
And very, they're perfectly fine marks. With the mistake that she made, I think there had to be a point or two off. And the performance marks are certainly very commendable.
So 5.8s and 5.9s for presentation for Christie Yamaguchi. And now it will be up to Yuka Sato to try to protect the lead for the world team. She'll take the ice when we come back to beginners. They'll run for the roses, always one of the great days on the sports calendar. And right now it's the 1994 world champion, Yuka Sato, the two-time champion of Japan, taking the ice, going head-to-head with Christie Yamaguchi.
The music, Hat Full of Stars.
There's a real comfortable, easy quality to her skating. And you feel her joy when she skates, and her positions all look so natural and unchoreographed.
Unpacking winter clothes.
Watch in particular her back. She has one of the finest straight backs, I think, in all of skating.
So I tore around the room like a bird without a head. I saw your picture waving back at me from underneath the bed. From a long, long time ago. When all I had was a hat full of stars. The one I always treasured. The one that you wore. You loved her look, but you never looked inside. You would have seen me there. You could have seen far. You should have seen the magic in my hat full of stars. In my trying to live in the present, but I keep tripping on the past. Finding out reality where clarity comes in drips and drabs. No, we never had the time for everything we had. So it felt like we had nothing. That's what makes this hat so sad. It was a long,
Nice triple loop. She uses her knees so well in her skating. And this choreography is just beautifully done by Leanne Miller.
The one I always treasured, the one that you wore. You loved the look, but you never looked inside. You would have seen us there. You could have seen far. You should have seen the magic in my hat full of stars.
What a stylish skater she is.
She is so pleasant to watch. You really feel so much emotion when she skates.
Twice the national champion of Japan. Her parents, by the way, also national champions. Yuka Sato.
And here was the unfortunate mistake at the beginning of her program on the triple toe, where she got up, completed the turns, but didn't have enough time to really check out on that landing. But she recovered really fast, and that's important also. And this was her beautiful triple loop in the middle of the program. It's such a beautiful jump because it's the edge jump and very soft. A nice accent in the middle.
Now remember, she's trying to beat Kristi Yamaguchi. The first set of marks for skating techniques, 5.6 to 5.8. And for presentation, 5.7 to 5.9, but they're not good enough. So Kristi Yamaguchi edging the Americans even closer than now within one of the world team. So the opportunity is there for the Americans to tie this up the first time since it began. Todd Eldridge going head-to-head with Victor Petrenko. That matchup is next, right after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Representing the world team from Ukraine, Olympic gold medalist Victor Petrenko.
Back in Binghamton, New York for the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge. And here is the Olympic gold medalist from 1992, Victor Petrenko, taking the ice. He is matched up head-to-head with Todd Eldridge, who will skate next.
And in case you didn't already know it, this is a medley of Michael Jackson's music.
And remember, the world team leads 8-7. 2 points awarded for a win, 1 for a loss. Got the great boots, too. White socks and the loafers. There you go.
And he's got these moves down pretty well.
moonwalk.
Another day has gone. I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. You never said goodbye. Someone tell me why. Did you have to go? Leave my world so cold.
They like putting in these difficult jumps. You could see that one leaning to the outside. He was lucky to be able to cut it down to a double.
Wonderful. Audiences just love him.
Getting a lot of interpretations in this night tonight, aren't we?
And some thriller thrown in at the end from Victor Petrenko. 92 is a great year for him. An Olympic title and a world title, trying to defeat Todd Eldridge here in Binghamton.
Now, look at this triple toe right here. Lart's leaning in the air, and he saves it. But that does not stand so well when he did this triple axel. Now watch him step up into this and lean out right there. And that, of course, was turned into a double. But, you know, the whole point of this program is not necessarily about jumps, but having fun.
We are the world gathering around Victor right now. They've got the lead 8-7. Truth, the judges thought of Victor's performance, 5.5s to 5.6s, actually 3 of them. Crowd thought they should have been higher marks. And now for presentation, 5.6 up to 5.8.
Are you asking me or telling
What do you think?
me?
Do you agree?
I think they're as good as could be expected. It was not the world's most scintillating performance, but it was great fun always to see Victor Petrenko.
Terry Gannon, Peggy Fleming, Dick Button here at the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge. And here is Todd Eldridge, 5 times the U.S. champ, won a world championship in 1996. And here he is trying to defeat Victor Petrenko.
And he really looks in good shape, doesn't he? The music, Pity the Child, sung by Colm Wilkinson.
When I was 9, I learned survival, taught myself not to care. I was my single good companion, taking my comfort there.
There's a nice confidence and calmness to his skating.
On my own, never asked for a helping hand. No one would understand.
Nice big triple loop.
I never asked the pair who thought me love. just in case they said no.
This kind of music, this kind of singing just fits his skating so well.
Nobody wants to do.
Long edges.
Knows that he never fit the system others expect him to. Hitting the child who knew his parents, saw the force of the love down before his eyes. Hitting the child that was. He ever asked, did I cause your distress? Just in case they said yes.
Now coming up is his triple axel.
Ah.
It ended up being a single.
Left with a whimper, not with a shout.
That's out of character for Todd.
If he can beat Victor Petrenko, he would pull the U.S. team even with the world team for the first time since this competition began.
She made her move the moment he called away. How could that woman tell? She never left her bed yet. Oh, someone who did not shut my door. Someone to treat her just the same way as before.
This triple Lutz, his usual solid one.
I have the skill of more than hunger, easy to get away. Hitting the child with no such weapons, no defense, no escape from the blinding light. Always a step behind. I never told to tell her all I've done. I was only her
He's one of the best spinners. Look at the concentration, the centering that he gets here, and the speed in these various changing positions.
It is a child, but not forever. Not in
Nobody realizes how much those spins take out of a skater. They're the most demanding moves in the entire sport.
And they can be so effective in a number. Look at the reaction that he did get when he held that move so long.
He really is it's just been years of experience showing him how to lead and develop these kind of numbers, and he does it better than anybody. Wonderful, wonderful climaxing to them.
Well, he didn't skate at the Nationals or the World Championships this year, but he has kept his eligibility looking ahead to the Worlds and possibly the Olympics. Who knows? Right now, he's trying to defeat Victor Petrenko. We'll see.
Now, this was his triple axel, a classic case of popping a jump. Up, and then just one turn, and it opens up, and he lands. Now, but on this triple Lutz, he really did a wonderful job. Look at him stretch back the curved back outside edge, the tightness of the feet in the air, the beautiful clean sweep of the landing. That was first rate.
Choice now for the judges?
No, it wasn't a tough choice. I don't think at all. Because the fact was that he had a great consistency. He had wonderful technical moves. His spins were first rate, and the program was a better concept for him than the other one was.
Well, the judges certainly agree with you, Dick. 5.7 to 5.9 now for presentation after the high marks for skating technique. So Todd Eldridge gunning down the competition. Victor Petrenko, and for the first time since it was 0-0, we are tied. New life for the Americans and for Michael Weiss, the world bronze medalist. His rematch with the world champion, Alexei Yagudin of Russia, is up next. Skating challenge. A look at the crowd here in Binghamton, New York, who moments ago saw a showdown in pairs. Yelena Berezhnaya and Anton Sika-Ridlidze of Russia, the two-time and reigning world champions.
And they certainly showed their style, the elegance, the line. Look at this combination lift right here. And look at the split that she achieves. Notice the front leg, the straight up turn, the back leg parallel to the ice. A really rare form of the traditional classical split jump. Their lightness and elegance, just wonderful.
Their challenge came from the U.S. silver medalists, Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman, getting better and better in their first year together on the ice.
And they did some really wonderful and difficult moves, not quite as light as what Berezhnaya and Sika-Ridlidze did, but these, you can see, were quite dramatic in scope.
And it wasn't enough to beat the world champion. For the Russian team, Berezhnaya, Sika-Ridlidze, they put the world team in the lead once again, 11-10. As we now turn our attention back to the men and the one-on-one showdown between Alexei Yagudin and Michael Weiss. This is a man who has thoroughly enjoyed his repeat victory at the World Championships. In fact, he spent most of his time since his win in Helsinki savoring that victory and not on the ice practicing. So we'll see what takes place with Alexei Yagudin.
Are you suggesting that there was more vodka than ice in the drink?
Just stating the facts.
Of course, this music is Lawrence of Arabia.
And this was the music that he used for his long program at the Worlds. It's slightly modified here because of the different requirements and limitations on triple jumps. Maybe he should have been practicing a little more. That triple axel clearly out of line.
Remember, it's 11-10. The world team has a 1-point lead over the U.S. and Yagudin skating head-to-head against Michael Weiss, the world bronze medalist, who will take the ice next.
Triple flip. Ooh, a little lack of checking on the landing. Revolution was good, but
Beautiful triple loop. I think the choice of this music and the choreography is just perfect for him. It's powerful music, and he is so powerful skating with this choreography, and his technique is just a wonderful match to this music. Again, you know, he's just, it seems to be somewhat out of shape in the fact that he's not controlling these triple jumps. The loop was great.
Well, he told us earlier today, Dick, that he's only practiced 4 times since his win at the World Championships. And I guess when you accomplish that, you deserve some time off, but it's perhaps showing up.
Well, certainly in comparison to the World Championship, it was slightly lacking in crispness, in tension, and in speed and energy. But it's always fun to see him skate, and to this music in particular, too.
He's only lost a couple of times this season. One of those defeats, though, at the Russian Nationals. That's a title, oddly enough, that Alexei Yagudin has never won.
Now, look as he steps up into this triple axel. Right there, you can see him leaning out of the circle. He does not check and control the landing. And, of course, that makes it impossible for him to really control the jump. The same thing almost happens right here in this triple flip. Watch again the landing and the left arm swinging around. He doesn't check it back.
So we'll see what the judges thought now. The first set for skating techniques, all 5.7s.
And clearly, you know, they're reflecting the fact that he had a couple of failures, a couple of difficulties in his jumps, and that the whole program wasn't really put together as well as he can do.
And 5.7s and one 5.8.
They're saying the same thing again.
Yep. Certainly room for Michael Weiss after the performance of Yagudin.
Champion and world bronze medalist, Michael Weiss.
Well, it's not Superfly, but maybe a Mr. T starter kit around his neck. KC and the Sunshine Band, the music, and that's why Michael Weiss, the world bronze medalist, looks like he does as he steps onto the ice.
Boy, that takes confidence already, just putting the wig on.
Well, you know, he sent a note up to me saying that he'd heard our on-camera, our introduction at the beginning of the thing, so he said, get ready, I'm going to have fun if you are.
This is very funny.
You know, with this kind of a character, if he maintains it consistently through the program and still includes a bunch of good triple jumps, he could easily pull up over Yagudin. Now, that was as nice as they come, you see.
It's 11-10, the world team leading the U.S. team. Remember, you get 2 points for a win, 1 point for the loss.
Well, I'd give him 2 points just for that head of hair. Thank you very much.
Watch out for the hair.
And this triple flip, that was a beauty, too. Straight line footwork into a triple toe loop. Well, he's really pulling them off very nicely. I think all the skaters should do that. Well, let's see, this thing started in the 70s. That was a little 80s. Now we're going to get to the 90s right here.
Well, he definitely had fun with that.
Now, when KC and the Sunshine Band were in their heyday, Michael Weiss's bicycle still had training wheels on it. He's only 22 years old, but he pulled it off.
But I've got to tell you something. This does sort of present a little bit of a dilemma for the judges as to which program, which apple or which orange is the better apple or the better orange. And I've got to tell you something. I do think that he did some very nice moves here. The program was all of a piece. It had some good triple jumps in it, too. Now, look here, despite this wig, as he steps into that triple Lutz. It looks very much like a flip, but he does a very short back outside edge, and that was just fine.
He's got to get points for keeping the wig on, though.
And look at this here as he does this triple flip. Again, an unusual entrance into it, but good tight turning revolutions. He was just fine in the air, and the landing was good. You know, he's going to get credit for that, I think. And backflips are always great. You know, first done by 1940s skating star Skippy Baxter, and they're just great today.
Anybody who can make Dick Button do the hustle up here in the broadcast booth is okay in this event.
Well, now, look here at this first set of marks. That's very interesting, isn't it? I mean, he got a 5.6 and a 5.8 and a 5.8 and another 5.6.
And now the second set for presentation.
Not quite good.
No, 5.6 to 5.8. The crowd's in disagreement, but it's Yagudin who gets the 2 points with the win, not Michael Weiss.
That was a hard choice.
Critical decision by the judges, and the world team with a 2-point lead now.
13.
So when we come back, the final showdown of the competition. Michelle Kwan, who relinquished her world title in Helsinki recently to the oldest champion ever, Maria Butirskaya of Russia. They'll compete when we come back to the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge. Federation once told her to quit. She refused. The critics said at the World Championships in Helsinki, she would melt under the pressure once again. She didn't believe them. And she upset Michelle Kwan to stand on top of the podium and wear the gold medal for the first time.
She is the 1999 World Ladies Champion. Please welcome Maria Butirskaya.
After all the adversity throughout her life and her career, what a satisfying win it was in Helsinki for Maria Butirskaya. Once again, she goes one-on-one, head-to-head with Michelle Kwan.
And this is music from Forever Tango.
Positions in these camel spins, good stretch, good extension.
I like the fact that she held it for a long period of time. That allows you to see it and you know, understand and feel it. Too many of the spins and moves the skaters just jump into and then let go immediately. They don't sustain them. my fashion sense, I can truly say that her dress is cut on the bias.
And she designs her costumes, too. I think she does quite a nice job.
Well, unfortunately, that landing of the triple loop was a little bit off angle. Also cut on the bias.
Right. At least tonight.
It's always interesting to watch her because she always gives you a slightly different interpretation of the music. At the World Championship, she skated with calm and security and as though she had psyched herself into not losing it. Here she seems just a little bit sort of almost out of steady training and therefore just a little bit angular and awkward, but always stylish. And that's a very nice quality about her skating.
At the age of 26, in the midst of the best years of her career, 2 European titles and a World Championship in the last 2 seasons for Maria Butirskaya.
And she did 2 triple jumps early in the program. This triple Lutz kinds of shows the whole point. She completed the jumps, a little bit of a trouble. Whatever you say, she is always striking.
The gang all gathered around now, and by the way, the world team cannot lose at this point. It comes down to that showdown individually, but the team matchup is over right now. All 5.7s for Maria Butirskaya.
5.8.
And presentation marks.
And they're wonderful. She is exciting to watch, and you know, she's joyous with her skating now.
So the world team with victory in hand. However, one skater left, and it's Michelle Kwan. She'll take the ice looking for a bit of redemption.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Kwan.
The final skater of the competition, 18-year-old Michelle Kwan. She lost her title at the World Championships, of course. It's Maria Butirskaya, a chance at least to get some satisfaction back here in Binghamton.
And the music one more time from the soundtrack, Message in a Bottle.
I think it's important for her to skate well and end this season with some confidence just for herself.
Nothing I must do. Nowhere I should be. No one in my life to answer to but me. No more can do.
Notice how effectively she incorporates spirals throughout this whole program,
No more
sometimes throwing them away.
no one to be.
In fact, she sometimes has a throwaway style, an elegant move that she just lets flicker by without any great emphasis. Like that triple jump, so beautifully unimportant to her, just sort of done, and it floats away.
Makes a wonderful accent to this number. And that's what does make a number when you have highs and lows in your skating. Wonderful luck.
That split in the old-fashioned style, not the Russian easier one. Very difficult to achieve that position. That was gorgeous. Trademark spiral. Again, the ease with which she does this. The fact that she holds her back up and doesn't allow it to drop.
Charlotte move. Very effective. Wonderful extension. Wonderful emotion.
Beautifully done.
Just spectacular.
Win, lose, or draw, Peggy, when you watch her on the ice, she has a way of pulling you in and believing in what she's trying to convey, doesn't
she? She sure does. It looks like she's really fulfilled after she's finished a performance.
What she means for me is that she takes very difficult jumps and moves and spins and infuses them with a steady simplicity. A non-simple jump done with simplicity. I find her very, very moving.
And she's recently announced she will enroll in college full-time this fall. Won't be far from her home, though. She's going to UCLA. She'll still be able to work on her skating with her coach, Frank Carroll. We'll have her marks when we return. Back at the Hershey's Kisses Figure Skating Challenge, Michelle Kwan after a brilliant performance.
Now, look at this triple jump and how she almost throws it away. Easy. No effort. At least to our eye, there's no effort. A jump of great ease. And look at these falling leaves. Now, watch the split position right there. The back leg turned down, the front leg perpendicular to the ice. Again, look at this is not a Russian position, but an old-fashioned classical position. Absolutely beautiful. And this, the back Charlotte stop. Remember Charlotte, the great German skating star of the early part of the century, who came here and performed at the Hippodrome and other wonderful theatrical venues. Now, nice to see it descended, so to speak, to Michelle Kwan.
She's received 39 perfect 6.0s throughout her career. You think we may see a few here? First set of marks, all 5.9.
Well, you know, it's the steadiness of that and the consistency of that. Everybody respects what she did tonight. It was done with great difficulty, but a simplicity laid over the whole thing that was just marvelous.
Yeah, look at the look on her face, too. 2 perfect 6s for presentation.
It's well deserved.
Great fun. That made a good end to this evening, I will tell you.
And a satisfying victory to close out the season for Michelle Kwan. However, it's the world team that gains the victory. 14-13, your final score here in Binghamton. For Peggy Fleming and Dick Button, I'm Terry Gannon. So long for now. Right now, let's go back to our Wide World of Sports studios in New York and join Robin Roberts. Robin?